What's good? Uh, yeah, this is my Detroit Lions preview slash analyst. Analyzing the Lions' chances to go to the playoffs. Analyzing. I don't think they will get to the playoffs, but it's just analyzing. But I'm gonna start with the preview, man. Lions versus the Oakland Raiders. This game is going to be pretty interesting because we don't go against the Oakland Raiders often. And the last time we went against the Oakland Raiders, they was really bad. They was like really terrible. They had the last time we went against them, they had Carson Palmer as the quarterback. Now look what he's doing in motherfucking Arizona, looking like the best quarterback in the NFL this year. But is a good chance Carson Palmer will win the MVP. There's a very good chance he will. If it ain't him, it's damn sure going to be Tom Brady. I'm just saying. Because that always be the quarterback fucking award. They never give the award to no receiver. They hardly ever give it to a running back. So, yeah. But anyway. Lions and Raiders, man. the Raiders, they 4-5 right now out of their conference. They're 4-5. I think they're second in their division right now behind the Denver Broncos. And the Broncos is on a 2-game losing streak. Yeah. I don't know will they catch up to the Broncos. I don't think they'll win. But they still got a chance to get to the playoffs. The Raiders. They still not out of it. Even though the playoff picture, the last wild card spot goes to the Buffalo Bills. But they still not out of it, though. They still not. They still got a chance to get in there. So, it'll be interesting if they do get in there. But as long as they don't beat my Lions, I'm all right. Lions, man. We got to come in this game ready, man, because we about to go up against Derek Carr, who's looking like a beast this year. Amari Cooper, who looked like the rookie of the year. And Michael Crabtree, the ex-49er, now Oakland Raider. And then you got the Raiders defense. You got Khalil Mack. I don't know if Aldon Smith is playing today. Sunday. I don't know if he's playing Sunday. Because I heard he's suspended for one season for that hit and run shit and that DUI shit that he done earlier in the summer and shit. So I don't know if they going to have him play for this game or not. I don't know. They're going to sit him out or he going to play this game. He going to play the rest of the season and just not play the next season. I don't know how that shit go. But you got either way go. You got to worry about Smith. You got to worry about Khalil Mack. Who else they got on their defense? Justin Tuck. And some. They got a couple players. Charles Woodson. They got a couple players. But their defense ain't that great, man. They gave up 203 yards to Adrian Peterson on the ground last week. They looked terrible in run stop, but they could not do anything with Adrian Peterson last week. Adrian Peterson had his best game of the year against the Oakland Raiders last week. So the Lions should use the running game as a result. Use the running game as a resource. Now the Oakland Raiders, I think teams like the Ravens and who else they went against? The Ravens, the Browns, or some shit like that. They went against some people. I think they went against the Ravens, who else? The Chargers. They beat the Chargers, the Ravens, the Chargers. I don't know. They beat the Browns and somebody else. I think the Jets. Yeah, the Jets. They beat the Jets too. They beat some decent teams. You know what I'm saying? But they can't beat the Lions, man. This game, just because you won in Green Bay, doesn't mean you can just calm down and just be on some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? We gotta come out and win this fucking game, man. I don't give a damn. If we seriously try to make consideration to make it to the playoffs, which I highly doubt, Even though some Lions fans still being very optimistic. Even though we mathematically still not out of this shit. We technically still got a chance. But I'm not getting my hopes up high at all because I don't think we will make it. I don't think we're gonna go on a fucking 7-game winning streak. I don't see it. I do not see it. I'm just being realistic with you. I do not see it. I can see the Lions winning another maybe 2, 3, maybe 3 more games at the most. Honestly, like if you're a real Lions fan, you would say this same shit I'm saying. You would see them maybe win another 2, maybe 3, 4 games if we're lucky. More games, not 7 though. I can see us going like 6-10 or some shit, 5-11, maybe 7-9 at the best. At best, we going 7-9 at the very best. I don't see us going 9-7, going on a 7-game winning streak. I do not see it whatsoever. So that just being a real Lions fan right here. But even say I'm going to that in a little bit in this video. But we can't come into this game thinking, oh yeah, it's all cool now because we beat Green Bay and Lambeau. No, fuck that bullshit. We got to do the same shit. We got to come out and have fucking heart. We got to come out and fucking fight against this Oakland Raiders team because this team offense can get it going sometimes. They really can. And the big trouble is going to be Amari Cooper. This motherfucker been a fucking beast since day fucking one. This dude been a beast. We gotta slow that shit down. This reminds me of the younger Stafford and younger Calvin Johnson a few years back. A younger Stafford and a younger Calvin. They like how Derek Carr just lobbed this shit up to Amari Cooper. That's how Stafford used to do to Calvin. Just lob this shit up to Calvin and he gonna catch the bitch. It's the same shit. So, yeah, we gotta contest that because I don't want Amari Cooper getting 200 yards on our ass, man. Because our defense, they shown some bright spots and flashes, but our defense is banged up and injured right now. Like I know last week we beat Green Bay. This past Sunday actually, but we beat Green Bay. It was a defensive game, offensive struggle. And that was impressive how the Lions play defense on the Green Bay like that. Especially when half of our fucking defense is injured. Half of our starting defense is injured. You got Rasheed Mathis out. James Hedebo out. You got DeAndre Levy out. You got Haloti Nada getting dinged up and shit. You got Josh Wilson getting injured. I mean, you get motherfuckers getting injured, dropping like flies right now, man. I don't know how the fuck our defense is going to play the same way we did against Green fucking Bay or Rainbow Gate butt fuckers. I don't know how we going to play the same way against the Rainbow Gate butt fuckers against the Raiders as we did against the Rainbow Gate butt fuckers, I'm about to say. But I was trolling the Packers fans all week talking shit. That's another video for another day. I was trolling their ass. No fucking excuses. You have Aaron Rodgers. That's enough. We have Aaron Rodgers. Shut the fuck up. We ain't got Jordy Nelson. You still would have lost, even with him. But anyway, the Lions, I don't know how the defense is going to play because I don't know how Terrell Austin is going to dial up the defense to play against this offense of the Oakland Raiders. I'm not saying the Oakland Raiders got a great offense, but they have spurts that they become great offense. They have spurts in time, and sometimes they real good on offense. Sometimes they real shitty on offense. So sometimes they real great on defense. Sometimes they real shitty on defense. That's why I think the Raiders gonna be an 8-8 type of team, maybe 7-9, because one week they're consistent on this side of the ball, but they suck on the other side of the ball. Next thing you know, say like they're good on offense one week, but they suck dick on defense. Next week, they're good on defense, but they suck ass on offense. You know what I'm saying? So, you don't know what you're going to get out of the Raiders this week. But I don't know how the Lions, it's like the Lions defense. Sometimes they play good, sometimes they play like shit. The Lions defense haven't played this good since week 3 against, well, the 4th game against the Seattle Seahawks. So, I don't know, man. This game can go either way. But the keys to win, man, this is what we gotta do. The offensive line has to block once again for Matthew Stafford, even though I don't think the offensive line was truly that great the last game. The reason why Stafford wasn't really getting pressured and hit like that because he was moving his fucking feet. And Stafford has to do that again. He had to move his fucking feet. Yeah, he threw an interception, but that wasn't his fault. Les Moore said it out his own mouth that it was his fault that he threw the interception because he ran the wrong route. That's why if you paid attention to the game and see how he ran that route, you can see how he looked confused as hell which way he's supposed to go. So he just ran a random route. He looked confused as fuck coming off the line of scrimmage. Looked very confused. That's why he threw the fucking pick. Because it was miscommunication. The motherfucker went right instead of going left. That shit. So, yeah, but we got to protect Stafford again. Yeah, Stafford got to move his feet. The running game got to be more of a factor, man, because you take Joy Bell out of the fucking game, man. That dude was a fucking bum. Straight up bum. Straight bum. This dude had 14 carries for 17 yards. That's terrible. That's trash. That's maybe a little over a yard per carry. That's terrible. Why is he even a starter? But yet, Jim Caldwell doing the stupid shit, constantly putting the motherfucker in the game, even though he's not a quality starter. I don't give a fuck if Maradona fumbling that motherfucking rock. You put that motherfucker in the goddamn game. I don't give a shit. Because when he's in the game, you know he's a big play waiting to happen. I've been saying that since week 1. You seen it in the kick return game. See how fast he came off the ball. See how he was flying out on the field. Damn near got the touchdown. Technically, he did get the touchdown, but they waved it off and didn't give him the fucking touchdown. He technically did get the touchdown, if you paid attention to it. Yeah, he tackled him because he was starting to get tired and shit. He tackled him, motherfucker. But he failed, but he never hit his knees on the ground. He reached across the plank, and he got the ball was across that bitch before his whole body went to the ground. But they didn't give him the touchdown for some fucking reason. But I was saying, Amir Abdullah is a big play waiting to happen. If you throw him in the backfield, maybe he could juke a couple motherfuckers, break their fucking ankles, and take off running for 50 fucking yards or some shit like that. Something that Joy Bell would never fucking do for you. He can give you big chunks of yards if you give him a fucking chance. And the offensive line be consistent. Cause that's sickening to me, man. I don't know why. This dude is a big play waiting to happen, man. He reminds me of who he reminds me of? He reminds me of like a Maurice Jones-Drew when he was a rookie. Except he's a little bit smaller. As far as weight-wise, he's smaller. But he reminds me of him a little bit. As far as size. Maurice Jones-Drew minus the power. Minus the size. Because Maurice Jones-Drew was a big motherfucker for his size. Maurice Jones-Drew was what, 5'7"? Maybe 220 pounds or some shit. Dude was big as shit. But he reminded me of him a little bit. Except he a little more elusive. He got like a Barry Sanders type of, I don't know. He's not Barry Sanders, but I don't know. It's hard to compare him to a running back right now. No, Giovanni Bernard. That's what he remind me of. Giovanni Bernard of the Cincinnati Bengals. That's who the fuck you remind me of. They both play so much alike. Only difference is I think Amir Abdullah is more physical than he's more of a physical runner than Giovanni Bernard. But why not put the motherfucker in the game, man? I don't give a fuck he fumbled the ball a few weeks ago. Put him in that fucking game. Put him in the backfield. Give him more carries. Amir Abdullah needs at least more carries than what the fuck he's getting. in my opinion. We need a 100-yard rusher for goodness sake to help out Matthew Stafford. That's why our offense be so one-dimensional, because we don't have a consistent running game. We don't have the coach putting the running back in the right position to become a good running back. That's what pissing me off, and that's why our offense been stagnant as shit. That's just how I see it. Now, that's another key. We got to be able to run the fucking ball, take time in possession. Because the Raiders, they gave up 203 yards. And you need to be able to establish the run game to be able to beat the Oakland Raiders, because that's the sign of their weakness for them. Now, I'm not expecting Stafford just to completely just carve up this fucking Raiders defense, because you got Charles Woodson and you know how Charles Woodson plays Matthew Stafford. He always play him pretty good. So, yeah, man, I would try to be more balanced in this game. But don't get Joy Bell the ball like that. I want to see Riddick get more carries in. I want to see Marabella get more carries. Yeah, you can put Joy Bell in there, but put him in short yard situations like 3rd and 1 or some shit like that. He'll get you 1 or 2 yards. But as a primary running back, oh fuck no. He's not a primary running back. I would never put him as a primary running back. I think Marabella, he'll give you a big play, I'm telling you. But you gotta stay committed to Marabella in the running game. You gotta use him more and stay committed to him. Even if he does fumble. Say if he recovers, you gotta stay committed to him. Don't just yank him out the game for the rest of the game because he fumbled the shit. No, you commit to him, give him enough carries, because when he does get carries, it seems like he gets big chunks of yards. Especially because every carry he gets more and more yards, because he's starting to warm up and he's not getting enough touches. I think Marabella should get at least 18 to 20 carries a game, in my opinion. But that's Jim Caldwell for your ass. That's why I kind of hate that motherfucker. I hate that motherfucker because he do that stuff, that dumbass shit. At least 18 to 20 carries for right now, and then boost up the carries later on or whatever. But he should at least get at least 17 to 21 carries, in my opinion. Now, another thing to beat the Oakland Raiders, we have to take time in possession, which is include the running game. We also have to keep their offense. Keep their offense on the field, but we also have to keep it winning. Stafford have to make good decisions with the ball when the time calls for it. There you go. And on the defensive side of the ball, we got to be able to slow down Amari Cooper. Slow him and Michael Crabtree down. Slow them two down. If you slow them two down, you have a good chance. You got a good chance if you slow them two down, because that's their offense right there. Because they don't really have a running game, so that's their offense. Latavius Murray, he's not really a great running back. This dude a good receiving running back, but he ain't really a great running back. So, it's whatever. We just gotta play how we played at Green Bay. We gotta get physical with this team. We can't be bullshitting around. We gotta get it from the get-go. We can't go soft at all. We gotta play with fucking heart. The receivers gotta play with fucking heart. This whole team gotta play with fucking heart. Defense, offense, special team. We gotta play with fucking heart. We gotta play with motivation. We gotta come in here to win this game, because a motivated Lions team is a dangerous Lions team. And everybody in the NFL knows this shit. A motivated Lions team can become a dangerous Lions team. And I think this team haven't had the proper motivation all season, which is why we have a 2-7 record right now. Trust me, we lost half of them games because we quit. We just simply fucking quit in some of them games. I say out of 9 of them games we played, there was at least 5 winnable games for us. The Lions could at least won 6 games by now. Seriously. They should be 6-3 right now. At least. Or 5-4. Something like 6-3. 6-3. 7-2 maybe. We should have beat Seattle. We should have beat Denver. We should have beat the Chargers. Okay. We should have beat Minnesota at least once. We should have beat them at Ford Field for damn sure, because we was up 17-3, and then we just start choking the game away and we start giving up on ourselves. That's another game we should have won. And then the Packer game, nobody expected us to win that game. That would have been a surprise game to win. We won in there, and then we beat the Bears. Everybody expected us to beat the Bears. So, like I said, winnable games we should have won. Bears, Chargers, at least one of the Vikings games. Broncos, Seahawks. That's 5 wins. And then you talk about Green Bay. If we beat Green Bay, say like we just beat them this Sunday, we've been fucking 6-3. Just saying, 6-3. But yeah, that's what it takes to beat. But you get what I mean though. The Raiders. This game can go either way, because the last time we faced the Raiders, we almost lost. But we usually beat the Raiders, but I don't know how it's going to be this time. So I can't guarantee this a win. This is not going to be a guaranteed win. I'm just going to say this. We're going to have to come out and fight it again. We can't come out on that pussy shit and say, fuck it, we quit in the second fucking quarter on some bullshit. So that's what I'm saying. Use that same motivation to beat Green Bay as you did. I mean, use the same motivation to beat Green Bay for this game. That's what I meant to say. Don't let the Raiders come in here and do whatever the fuck they want to do. We got to come in here, play with some heart, play some tough-ass defense, and put up a couple, and at least establish the running game in this fucking game, and put give Amiradilla more carries. That's just how I feel. Yeah. Now, the other half of the video. Now, everybody being optimistic about the Lions going to the playoffs. I'm going to tell you this. We're not going to the playoffs. I don't give a fuck if we win out or not. If we go, say we 2-7 right now, but if we win out, say like we go on a 7-game winning streak and go 9-7, we still might not make it. We still ain't going to make it. I'm going to tell you why right now. Well, they can. It's optimistic. It's a chance, though, but this is, if the Lions do make it, this will have to happen. I'm about to tell you right now, if we do make the playoffs, which I highly doubt, because I don't think we is. I don't even think we're going on a 7-game winning streak. So I say maybe 4-game winning streak, maybe 3 or 4 games, maybe. I say we beat the Bears again, maybe beat the Saints and the 49ers and the Rams and shit, and probably lose to Green Bay at Ford Field and shit like that. And beat the Eagles, some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's whatever. But yeah, say you optimistic fans out here that think the Lions made it to the playoffs, say we do finish out, we do go on a 7-game winning streak, we do go 9-7. This is what would have to happen for the Lions to make it to the playoffs, which is very slim to none. The Lions will have to win out. That's number one. Then the Lions must sweep Green Bay and the Bears. Also, they have to beat the Rams as well. They can't lose to a team that the Bears and the Packers. They can't lose to a team that the Bears and the Packers beat or won against. So that means we have to beat the Rams. We have to beat the Saints, because these teams is in the hunt. We have to beat the Rams. We have to beat the Saints. We have to beat the Eagles. They have to beat the Buccaneers, because they're in contention too. The Eagles have to beat the Buccaneers, but then we have to turn around next week, the week after that, and beat the Eagles. We have to beat the Eagles after the Eagles beat the Buccaneers. That's how it be. Then, The Cowboys have to split with the Redskins because they in contention too. Because they can make it to the wild card if we're not careful. Shit. They can knock Green Bay out of that shit. All we fucking know. The Cowboys have to split with the Redskins. The Bears have to lose against the Broncos this Sunday. This Sunday, they have to lose against the Broncos and or lose to the Vikings again. They have to get swept by the Vikings this season and lose to the Broncos for the Bears to be eliminated. Then the Bears got to lose to extra teams the Lions haven't faced yet. Then you want the Seahawks to be out of contention. But if the Lions want to be in the playoff picture, the Seahawks can still get in there too. The Seahawks, they will have to lose to the Vikings. They will have to get swept by the Cardinals. And, yeah, that's basically what got to happen. And maybe lose to the Rams. Maybe. If they get swept by Arizona and the Rams, Seattle is fucked anyway. Their playoff hopes is over. If they lose to the Cardinals again and get swept by, if they get swept by the Cardinals and the Rams, the playoff chances is over. It's a wrap. It's over. They're done. They'll be eliminated. Even if they did have a better record than the Lions, they'll still be eliminated. Even they did beat the Lions earlier in the year. But if they get swept by the Rams and the Cardinals, like I said, they will still be out of there. Even though they did beat the Lions, but that shit won't even fucking matter at the end of the day. Then, also, Green Bay, I think they hold the 5th seed right now. So if Green Bay, they 6-3. I don't think they go like completely tank this season or fucking lose like that. But this must happen for the Lions to get in there. Green Bay, they must, like I said, the Lions have to sweep them. But the Green Bay must split with the Vikings or get swept by the Vikings and lose to the Cardinals for the Lions to get up in there. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna have to happen. They're gonna have to sweep. Minnesota gonna have to sweep them or split with them and then lose to the Cardinals for Green Bay not to get in there. I'm serious. But a sweep would be better though for Green Bay. Minnesota must sweep them though. Mainly, they must sweep Green Bay, which I highly doubt. I think Green Bay gonna beat them this Sunday though, but Minnesota must sweep Green Bay, which I doubt. But yeah, and then they have to lose to the Cardinals for the Lions to get up in there. So the Lions, they need a lot of help to get up in there, man. They need a lot of fucking help. And then the Rams, all the Lions got to do is just beat the other teams that's in contention. All the Lions got to do is just beat them. That's all they got to do. Just win them games. That's all they got to do. So, but that's when I started off first. So, the Lions need a lot of help to get into the playoffs. So, are you fans still optimistic or no? After you just heard my analysis about how would they get in there, are you still optimistic about that? About all this shit happening? Because I'm not. All this shit is not gonna come into play. It's not going to come into play. That's why I said the Lions, even if they did win out, they still might be fucked. Because, say, like, the Bears beat teams that we haven't beat or whatever the fuck. Or whatever, Or Green Bay still win a few more games or whatever, then we fucked. So, you know what I'm saying? Even if we did sweep Green Bay, but they still win more games than us. They beat teams that we haven't beat. We still fuck. But it's other things that come into play. We need a lot of help. Just saying. But this video went on long enough, though. Let me know what you think about my preview and my analysis about the Lions' optimism about going to the playoffs. Because I don't think they're going in that motherfucker. But that's my opinion. I'm up out of here though. Peace out though. Peace.